Hey guys, so we're going to be doing the part of the upper quarter screen today. The upper quarter screen, the purpose of it is if you suspect neurological involvement, whether it's central or peripheral nervous system compromise. We're only going to be looking at 3 of the neurological tests that you do in the upper quarter screen. We're going to do myotomes, dermatomes, and deep tendon reflexes. Now we're going to look at the myotome levels, the first neurological test of the upper quarter screen. You're going to test the unaffected side first, that way you get a good baseline of their strength for their myotomes, and then you're going to test the affected side. So for the purpose of this video, I'm only going to test the affected side, which we'll say is his left side. We're going to be looking at myotome levels C4 through T1. So first level, C4, it's going to be a shoulder shrug. So we're going to have the patient perform a shoulder shrug first. Then I'm going to have him do it bilaterally so I can test it at the same time, which is fine. And then I'm going to apply a pressure down and hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And relax. Next one is going to be C5, which is abduction, shoulder abduction. And I'm going to have him hold there as well. You can also test this bilaterally at the same time. And then I'm going to apply a force down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So that's C5. C6 is going to be elbow flexion and wrist extension. So first I'm just going to look at his elbow flexion. So hold there, don't let it pull you down. 1, 2, 3. Good. And if their strength is good there, then I don't need to test the wrist extension. But if it is weak and we expect more compromise, then we can go ahead and test wrist extension. The next one is C7, which is elbow extension and wrist flexion. So here I'm going to bring him into a about 90-degree angle, and I'm going to have him resist my pressure applying that way. So we're testing elbow extension here. And once again, we wouldn't go into the wrist flexion unless we suspected more involvement there. The next one is C8, myotome level C8, which is his ability to make a fist. So what I'm going to have him do is make a fist around my hand, and I'm going to try to pull him apart and have him resist that. Good. The last level is T1, which is finger adduction and abduction. So I'm going to have him spread his fingers out wide, and then I'm going to apply pressure inward and have him hold that. And that is T1. The next neurological test for the upper quarter screen is dermatome levels. So dermatome levels help with your sensation. So what we're going to be doing is giving light touch to those areas based on their dermatome levels. So for the purpose of this, we're going to have the patient close his eyes, and we're going to go through each dermatome level. We're going to make sure that our strokes are relatively the same, and we're going to test the unaffected side first, and then the affected side. So his affected side is his left, and his unaffected is his right. So I'm going to stroke his right area first, and then his left. So we'll start with C4. So I'm going to have you close your eyes here. And I'm going to stroke. C4 is around the collarbone. So does this feel the same as this? And he'll respond yes. Yes. And then we're going to go to C5. Does this feel the same as this? So just outside of the arm. I'll have you put your palms out for me, sir. For C6, does this feel the same as this? So right there on the thumb. For C7, middle finger area, does this feel the same as this? C7. C8, around the 5th finger, does this feel the same as this? Good. And then T1 is around the elbow. Does this feel the same as this? So a positive test is if they feel different sensation, if they respond that does not feel the same as that. If you need to go back and retest that, then do so just to confirm that dermatome level. The last neurological test that we're going to be testing is the DTRs, the deep tendon reflexes. We're going to be looking at the spinal levels C5, C6, and C7. So once again, we're going to be comparing side to side, and that's where we're going to see our positive tests, whether it's a difference between sides. So for the purpose of this test, we're only going to test his affected side, which we're saying is his left side, but you would test the unaffected side first. So what we're going to do here is have my reflex hammer. I'm going to have the patient relax. I'm going to find, for C5, it is the biceps brachii reflex. I'm going to find his biceps brachii tendon. I'm going to have him activate it first, just so that I can find it and have him relax. And then I'm going to have my thumb placed on the tendon, and then I'm going to give a slight tap to see the response that would occur. So that is C5. For C6, it is the brachioradialis, and to see the brachioradialis, I'm going to have him activate it. So don't only push your arm down, and you can see the muscle here. So that's where we're going to be using the reflex hammer. So I'm just going to have him relax, and I'm going to tap right there on the brachioradialis. And then you'll see or feel his arm twitch as well. And then for C7 is his triceps. We're going to have the patient relax here at a 90-degree angle, and then you're going to be hitting the triceps muscle right past the elbow here. Once again, you're looking at both sides. So we're going to take the reflex hammer just right above the olecranon process, if not a little bit further into the triceps muscle. You give a little response, and you can see his muscle move there. There we go. And that was C7 for the triceps. So those were the 3 neurological tests for the upper quarter screen. Now obviously there are other steps for the upper quarter screen, like observation, you're looking at their posture, etc., as well as their range of motion of their upper quarter. So for the neurological tests, for myotomes, dermatomes, and their DTRs, for myotomes, you're looking at a decrease in their strength compared side to side, as well as for dermatomes, you're looking at decreased sensation or even absent sensation at those dermatome levels. For the deep tendon reflexes, obviously comparing side to side, affected to the unaffected, and whether the reflex is diminished or absent, or it could be even hyper, where it's highly excitable reflex. And then after those neurological tests, you'll be doing a couple of special tests such as compression and distraction. Once again, the upper quarter screen, the purpose of it is to look for neurological involvement, whether it's peripheral or central nervous system compromise.